Have you ever seen Alex Pereira gently leg kick this lady?
Yes.
But wait for it. Watch when she shows what it looked like afterwards. Look at that.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
How about that fucking Asian guy that was swallowing those?
Like
this
this guy.
fucking maniac.
But he's not hitting them full blast, but he's hitting them pretty hard,
moving up,
man.
though.
That's crazy. That guy's an animal.
Buck 26 leg kick.
That left hook is nasty.
That is extraordinary power.
Oh, that left hook is nasty.
Who hits harder than that, dude?
I don't think anybody does.
His power is just, it's nuclear. It's what this.
Oh, head kick. Oh, that's that same knee from before.
Yep, that knee is fucking.
That's the one he got.
Some dudes just have some extra power. It was shocking. He would hit guys, boom, and they were just like skipping up and flatline. Like, and he's doing it to everybody.
Saw you flying on a private jet with Alex Pereira, then you were training with Alex Pereira. How is heavyweight Alex Pereira looking?
He is looking great, and actually I'm very excited to see the fight. His fight against Cyril Gane. I respect both of them. I think that they both are legendary fighters, and it's gonna be amazing to watch.
Did you guys spar at all? Were you competing with him, Ilya?
No way, no way, no way.
Nobody pulling guard.
Can't stay with your back.
Well, Izzy said that when he lost to Alex Pereira, the first fight in the UFC, he said he wasn't hurt that bad with the punches. He said he couldn't move. He said his leg was so destroyed. He said my left leg was so compromised I couldn't move. And then in the second fight, when he knocked Alex out in the first round, he said my leg was fucked already. He's like, he was getting me again. He's so sneaky with that calf kick because he's got that weird style. He stands, and he just kind of throws it out there, and you don't even see it coming because he's not twisting his hips.
Last one, Alex Pereira and Cyril Gane. I'm curious, you fought Pereira. How do you see that fight playing out?
We'll see how we're gonna, he is big right now, so we will see how he's gonna move in this division. But I think he know how to, even if he's so big, he know how to move very good, very fast, good timing, and maybe he will knock out the Cyril Gane. So this is my opinion. Second round KO, and he will be, champion, because this is title fight.
Interim title, yeah.
It's gonna be stand-up war. Ain't nobody doing any shot.
Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane.
Alex Pereira is a big boy. I just saw him in Seattle. I mean, I saw him jump on the scale, 242. Drama. Obviously, Cyril Gane has great movement. You saw what he did to Tom Aspinall. He was popping in with the jab. Alex Pereira does have that calf kick that he loves to throw every single time to stop everybody's movement. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how Cyril Gane does with the pressure that Alex Pereira brings. It's gonna be stand-up war. Ain't nobody doing any shot.
Pereira, Cyril Gane. How do you see that match? Does size really matter in heavyweight?
Yes, size matter, but I think Pereira has a decent size for heavyweight. This is a big guy. The fight they might be the same weight.
So what would you say for a guy like Cyril Gane going up against a hard hitter like Alex Pereira?
This is a good matchup for him. Heavy hand, but stationary, doesn't move as much.
Cyril Gane's movement is different. It's problematic.
It's very problematic for him trying to get on his nerve. Cyril is very agile and Pereira is very stationary. And he doesn't officially have a wrestling that can respond. But again, they might be working on something that we haven't seen yet. But Cyril's style is different and give him an edge on this case.
Alex Pereira packed his bags, left the warm, familiar air of Brazil completely behind, and traded it for somewhere so cold that the snow was up to his knees during outdoor sessions. And the decision to do that tells you everything about the mental state of a man who knows exactly what kind of fight is waiting for him. This training camp looks different from anything Pereira has put himself through before, sharper in its focus, colder in its conditions, and built around the specific and uncomfortable reality that Cyril Gane is not the kind of problem that a comfortable preparation is going to solve on fight night. He is out there sprinting through the snow on purpose, running drills in temperatures that most athletes would use as an automatic excuse to move the session indoors, standing in the freezing air long after the work is technically done, because the entire point is to harden the mind at the same rate as the body. By the time fight night arrives and Gane throws that sharp jab from the outside and tries to control the range and dictate the pace, a stiff punch is going to feel like nothing compared to what Pereira has already been putting his central nervous system through for weeks inside that winter camp. The training camp itself covers every dimension a heavyweight contender needs to address before walking into the cage against an opponent as technically complete as Cyril Gane, with explosive power drills designed to keep the knockout pop alive in his hands, conditioning rounds built to sustain output across 5 championship rounds, and specialized injury prevention work that protects the physical investment of months of preparation. You can catch moments in the camp footage where Pereira and his team are laughing together, cracking jokes about the brutality of the sessions, teasing each other about who handles the cold best. But the moment the work restarts, the smile disappears and the focus snaps back into place with an immediacy that reveals exactly what kind of competitor is standing inside that training room.
What makes Pereira a uniquely terrifying problem inside the octagon is not simply that he hits harder than almost everyone else in the sport. It is the specific and almost counterintuitive way that his power is delivered, through patience rather than aggression, through stillness rather than pressure, through the controlled offer of space that his opponents consistently mistake for an opportunity. He does not chase fighters around the cage, does not try to overwhelm them with volume or constant forward movement. Instead, he plants his feet, keeps his guard tight, and essentially hands his opponent the keys to start the exchange, knowing that the moment they accept that invitation, they have entered exactly the trap he has been setting since the opening second. His left hook is the punch that every analyst, every corner, and every opponent circles on the scouting report before stepping into the cage with him, and every single one of them has still been unable to fully solve it, because the reason it lands is not hidden in its path, but in its almost complete absence of telegraph. It travels almost no distance, generates power through mechanics that most coaches cannot explain to fighters who have never felt it before, and arrives at the target in the same fraction of a second that the opponent is processing the fact that Pereira moved at all, which is why the canvas is where so many of those exchanges have ended. The calf kick is the other weapon that serious students of his game keep coming back to when trying to explain how he systematically dismantles opponents who arrive with a complete and carefully constructed game plan. Because Israel Adesanya said publicly after their first UFC fight that his left leg was so destroyed he simply could not move the way his game plan required him to move. Adesanya said he was not hurt badly from the punches. He said he could not generate the footwork and the angles and the lateral movement that his entire offensive and defensive system depends on, because Pereira had already turned his lead leg into a liability before the finishing sequence ever began, which reveals a strategic depth in Pereira's game that the casual highlight reel completely fails to capture.
The counter-striking is where the true architecture of his fighting system becomes visible to anyone willing to study it past the surface, because he uses small, almost invisible head movements to shift just outside range when a punch is incoming, and his own counter is already launching before the opponent's fist has fully extended on its way to the space where his head used to be. There is barely a gap between the miss and the counter, barely a visible pause between defense and offense, and that compression of reaction time is what makes trading with him feel so fundamentally different from trading with any other striker at this level, regardless of how prepared a fighter believes they are when the cage door closes. The trap buried inside his style is what makes him so dangerous to fighters who are genuinely competitive and technically proficient, because his opponents frequently feel like they are winning while they are actually being maneuvered, feel like they are controlling the pace and the center, while the scorecards in their own heads are accumulating a false sense of security that one left hook erases in a single irreversible moment. Fighters have walked into the cage against Pereira with the right game plan on paper, with coaches who studied the footage and identified the patterns and prepared specific responses, and then discovered in real time under real pressure that knowing what is coming and surviving what is coming when a man of this physical caliber is executing it are two completely different experiences. Gane brings the one quality that most analytical frameworks identify as the most legitimate threat to Pereira's preferred fighting rhythm, which is elite footwork and constant lateral movement that denies the stationary timing game that his power and his counter-striking are built to exploit against opponents who stand in front of him and fight in straight lines. The question hanging over this matchup is whether Gane can sustain that movement across the full duration of a championship fight against a man who has spent months in a winter training camp specifically preparing to impose his will on a heavyweight technical specialist, because Pereira's entire preparation has been pointed at exactly this problem, and he does not arrive at fight night underprepared for the challenge his opponents bring.
The fight is a genuine 50-50 problem for anyone trying to pick it with confidence, because the outcome depends almost entirely on which man gets to impose his version of the fight for the majority of the exchanges, and both men have the tools and the preparation and the elite-level competitive experience to make their preferred version of this contest a reality under championship pressure. Pereira walks in with nuclear power, a counter-striking system that has finished elite opponents at multiple weight classes, and a training camp designed specifically around the discomfort of preparing for this specific problem, while Gane walks in with the movement, the footwork, and the technical boxing that makes him the most problematic stylistic matchup for a stationary, heavy-handed striker in the entire heavyweight division.